Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV. You are watching Midday News. I'll read the headlines for you. Government of India assures of giving the Naga flag appropriate respect and position it deserves. Nltv said that there is a historical, cultural and spiritual side to the Naga flag. 11-year-old girl allegedly raped by her teacher. The teacher, Keshav Yadav, resident of Alwar district, was apprehended after the girl called up the child helpline. Heavy gunfire broke out Thursday in Beirut during a protest organized by Hezbollah group against the judge, leading the probe into last year's blast in the city's port. An SUV ran over a group of devotees walking to immerse an idol of goddess Durga in Chhattisgarh's Jashpur district, leaving one dead and 20 others seriously injured. And now, the news in details. The Naga National Political Group's NNPGS convener of the Working Committee, Nltv claimed that the Government of India is short of giving the Naga flag appropriate respect and position it deserves. Clarifying the unresolved matters between the Working Committee and the Centre, Jimomi said that the Government of India has been clearly told there is a historical, cultural and spiritual side to the Naga flag, which is too dear for the people of Nagaland. Jimomi also stated that Jimomi said in a statement that Naga flag under unrestrained political uses would be pursued post-solution democratically, and the Government of India will not object to the use of Naga flag for cultural purposes and in customary institutions. On the Naga constitution, Jimomi said that the precise shape, form and source of authority will come from the Naga tribes. A 31-year-old Ao Naga woman, Limainla Imsen from Mokokchung, has been awarded the iconic Young Achievers Award 2021 in the field of computer sciences. The award was conferred by International Centre for Excellence in Education, India on October 10, 2021. She is presently working as a lecturer and research scholar, Department of Science, Hunan University of Arts and Science, China. Apart from teaching, Limainla develops software and also does web designing. She also teaches free programming to students who cannot afford tuition fees. It is worth mentioning here that Limainla recently developed a church management system for a local church in Mokokchung and is currently working on a web project for a church based in New Zealand. Chief Minister Nephew Rio took to his Twitter to announce that India will host the South Asian Cross Country Championship in Nagaland. He wrote that he is grateful to South Asian Athletics Federation and Athletic Federation of India. In his tweet, he also thanked and especially appreciated SAF President Dr. Lalit Bhanod for his support. It is worth mentioning here that he applauded the efforts of Abu Metha as well. Abu Metha is the advisor to CM Rio and also the Assistant VP of Athletic Federations of India. Chingmei Range Students' Council (CRSC) organized Literary Day on the theme The Artistry in You on October 15th at Urban in Twengsang. The program's objective was to make the youngsters learn and be aware of the current updates. The participants were given topics on present context and issues like Taliban government and COVID pandemic. The winners were also awarded cash prizes and certificates, as well as certificates were given to all participants. The Delhi police registered a case after a doctor working at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences alleged that she was raped by one of her senior colleagues during a birthday party inside the campus. The accused, who is married, is on a run and efforts are on to arrest him, the police said. According to police, the incident took place on September 26 during a birthday party of one of her colleagues. The police received information about the incident on October 11th, adding that the medico-legal case was done. According to the police, when their team reached the hospital and met the victim, she told them that on September 26th, one of her senior colleagues allegedly raped her after she went to his room for the birthday celebration. Based on her statement, a case was registered under Section 376, Punishment for Rape, and 377, Unnatural Offences of the Indian Penal Code at the Khas Police Station. 11-year-old girl was allegedly raped by her teacher. The teacher, Keshav Yadav, resident of Alwar district, was apprehended by the girl, called up the child helpline. Later on, he was arrested in Junjunu district. According to Shinghana police station, SHO Bhajna Ram, the minor was raped by the accused on October 5th and threatened her of dire consequences. The class 7 student confided her mother, but the family kept the assault a secret. Therefore, she found child helpline numbers in her textbook and called up to report the incident on Thursday. Keshav Yadav, arrested on Friday under section of the Indian Penal Code and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. Heavy gunfire broke out on Thursday in Beirut during a protest organized by Hezbollah group against the judge leading the probe into last year's blast in the city's port. At least 6 people were killed and dozens wounded in the most violent street fighting in the Lebanese capital. Gunfire echoed for hours and ambulances rushed to pick up casualties. It was not clear who started the shooting, which began shortly after the start of the protest organized by the Iran-backed Hezbollah and its Shiite allies from the Amal movement against Judge Tariq Bitar, who is leading the investigation into last year's massive port explosion. Prime Minister Najib Mikati appealed for calm and urged people not to be dragged into civil strife. One person died and around 20 have been injured after a car ran over a group of devotees walking to immerse an idol of goddess Durga in Chhattisgarh Jashpur district. The one person who died has been identified as Gaurav Agarwal, 21, a resident of Pathalgaon in Jashpur. The injured have been admitted to Pathalgaon Civil Hospital for treatment. Block Medical Officer James Mins said 2 of the injured were being referred to other hospitals with fractures. The car was a maroon Mahindra Xylo and had a Madhya Pradesh number plate and sped away after the horrific accident, driving towards nearby Sukrapara. According to the police of the district superintendent office of the district superintendent of police, 2 accused have been arrested and charged. The first is 21-year-old Bablu Vishwakarma and the second is 26-year-old Shishupal Sahu. Both are residents of Madhya Pradesh's Singrauli district and were passing through Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel expressed his sorrow for the same. The price of petrol in the state capital of Meghalaya has now touched Rs 100 per litre and diesel being sold at 91.94 per litre. The worst affected are the local taxi operators who are now angry that the state government isn't doing anything about the rise in fuel prices. Shillong Taxi Association has also threatened that if the fuel prices don't come down at a normal rate, they will have to increase taxi fares, and if they go ahead with the price hike, then it will directly be going to affect daily commuters. Shillong Taxi Association urged the Meghalaya government to take stock of the situation, which was badly affected the public at large. They have also threatened that if the prices of fuel continue to rise, then they will begin an agitation. The main lawyer for Myanmar's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi is being tried on triple criminal charges. She said he has been issued a gag order barring him from talking about her cases on Thursday. The practical effect of the order will be to choke off almost any first-hand accounts of the ongoing trials in which the leader and her co-dependents are involved. The only accounts of the proceedings have come from the lawyers defending her and her co-defendants. The leader's supporters and independent analysts say the charges against her are created to discredit her and legitimize the military seizure of power. According to reports, the most serious charges are corruption, for which each count is punishable by up to 15 years in prison, and violating the Official Secrets Act, which carries a maximum term of 14 years. A British lawmaker was stabbed to death on Friday in a church by a man who lunged at him at a meeting with voters from his electoral district, knifing him repeatedly. David Amis, a 69-year-old lawmaker, was attacked at around midday at a meeting at the Belfast Methodist Church in Leigh-on-Sea, east of London. According to sources, there was no detail about the motivation for the attack. Emergency services had fought to save his life inside the church, but in vain. As news of the attack emerged, Prime Minister Johnson rushed back to London for a meeting in Bristol, Western England. Colleagues from across Parliament expressed their shock and paid tribute to Amis, saying he was diligent in his duties to his local area. Chennai Super Kings clinched their fourth Indian Premier League title, beating Kolkata Knight Riders by 27 runs in the 2021 final at the Dubai International Stadium on Friday. After being put into bat, CSK openers Ruturaj Gaikwad and FAF du Plessis gave their team a fine start again. The duo strung together a 61-run stand before Gaikwad was dismissed by Sunil Narayan. CSK set a target of 192 runs. KKR's chase got off to a fortunate start. Things only went bad from bad to worse for KKR as Dinesh Karthik, Saqib Al Hassan and Rahul Tripathi fell in quick succession. It all hinged on captain Eoin Morgan, but the England skipper has been woefully out of form. Fully vaccinated foreigners can travel to the United States for November 8th, the White House announced on Friday, a move which will also benefit Indians who have received both the sorts of coronavirus disease vaccines. It will be beginning to the end of the unprecedented restrictions imposed early last year. According to sources, the policy is guided by public health. Stringent and consistent vaccinated air passengers will need to be tested within 3 days before travel, and airlines will be required to put in place a contact tracing system. A body of a man with hands shoved off and marks of at least 10 wounds caused by sharp-edged weapons was found tied to a barricade at a farmers' protest site on the outskirts of Delhi. The incident was reported at the Singhu border on Friday. The gruesome incident has been blamed on Nihangs, a Sikh order identified by their blue robes and swords. Hours after the massacre crime, a man wearing blue robes of Nihan appeared before the media claiming that he had punished the victim for desecrating the Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh holy book. Sarabjit Singh later surrendered to the police, but not before addressing the group of media persons, where he and his associates said that they are ready to do things like these again if someone dares to do crime like sacrilege again. When asked if he had any regret, Singh replied in the negative. Singh was taken in custody by the police amid chants of Jo Bole Sonihal. He will be produced before a court today.
सिंह गुस्सा आ गया था उस समय क्या हुआ था?
गुस्सा नहीं है जी, गुस्सा आने वाली बात नहीं है। जब हमारे प्यो की पगड़ी उतार रहा है उनको छोड़ेंगे।
एक गल ध्यान और करना सरकार ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮੰਦਿਰ ਹੈ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ
सबके लिए लड़ेंगे हम, सबके लिए
सबके लिए लड़ेंगे,
सबके लिए
और
सब धर्मों के लिए, सब धर्मों के लिए।
कस्टडी में
Pune Airport will remain closed for 14 days from Saturday to October 29 to complete the runway resurfacing work. The resurfacing work is being undertaken by the Indian Air Force, according to sources. The airstrip was inescapable as the condition of the runway is rapidly deteriorating and it needs recarpeting. The travelers were shocked by the announcement, which they said was made at a very short notice. The announcement of closure was made on the day of Greenfield Airport was inaugurated by the centre in Sindhudurg. Operationalization of the airport at Chippi has opened the horizons of additional connectivity of coastal Maharashtra with other cities directly connected with bigger places like Pune. Haryana police on Thursday arrested an army personnel for allegedly passing secret information to Pakistan intelligence agency ISI. The police on a tip-off arrested Rohit Kumar, who is a resident of Kodwa Kurd village in Narayangarh area in Ambala district on Wednesday. Kumar is employed as Havaldar in an engineering regiment of the army in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Superintendent of Police Hamid Akhtar said that the police received an input about Kumar and on the basis of which he was taken into custody. SP stated that during the interrogation, it came to the fore that he was in contact with a Pakistani agent and was sharing secret information and photographs while the Pakistani intelligence agency. Kumar's 2 mobile phones, which were used for sharing information, were seized. A case has been registered against him under the provision of the Official Secrets Act. According to reports, the highest decision-making body of the Congress is expected to give the go-ahead for an organizational election for a full-term chief rather than an interim poll for the post of president in the party's working committee meeting today. Sonia Gandhi, who was named interim chief following the resignation of her son Rahul Gandhi over the 2019 election debacle, is expected to continue till the entire process of fresh memberships and a full-fledged election takes place from the district to the national capital. This decision will have to be endorsed at the Working Committee, Congress Working Committee or CWC meeting with some members like Ghulam Nabi Azad and Anand Sharma, with crucial state elections expected to take place early in 2022. Many leaders feel the focus should be on winning these polls rather than having an interim election for the post of party president. The CWC is unlikely to discuss any disciplinary issues but will definitely discuss the upcoming state elections and the need for unity amongst all factions in the party to take on the BJP in various states. That is all for now. This is Gargireka signing off. Keep watching Nagaland TV.